And good evening and welcome to episode 21. Me and Paul was just having a conversation. We didn't realise we weren't live. We just said go live because we were already talking about some vape stuff. So welcome. Sorry we didn't go live last week. I was away. Paul was too busy drinking out of his new machine. Probably pissed in the garden. So how's your 2 weeks been, Paul? I need to ask you a question when I get into this, but what are you drinking? I know what you're drinking, but what are you drinking? What you have for tea? And how's your 2 weeks been? Have you enjoyed not having my shit for last week?
I'm drinking a pint of Budweiser, a pint of draft Budweiser machine. I've overfilled my fucking pen. And I had a chippy tea tonight.
Oh, nice.
Celebrate my 1 year anniversary of not being so fat.
Congratulations on the 5 stone. That is absolutely amazing. That is honestly amazing. And you can tell hugely by them pictures. Hugely. But I say it all the time. I think you're losing weight all the time.
Mate, you've lost more weight again, I reckon, as well.
I got weighed today. I did get weighed today. I am losing weight. I think I've added a pound on since I last got weighed a week ago.
That's not bad. You've been away on holiday for a week.
So I've not done too bad, but yeah, I'm getting there. But the diabetes life change again starts tomorrow because I had a bollocking today from the diabetic nurse. So I went out and spent £10 on water and fruit this afternoon. The moment you walk into Morrison's and go, I'm not even walking out of a bag of crisps.
Is that where Abby works, Morrison's?
Yeah.
You get discount?
Yeah.
Decent discount?
20%.
Is it still not cheaper to go to Aldi for your fruit and veg and shit?
I probably. I literally went out with a full basket of fruit.
Morrison's is cheap for fruit.
Tash said, to be fair, Morrison's is cheap for fruit. So we normally use Asda for our big shop. But the fucking fruit and veg and stuff just seems better at Aldi.
Well, I wanted to go to the market, but I didn't have the time sort of to pop into town. I hate going into town. So it's like, even popping in for 5 minutes, I absolutely hate it. So we're going to pop into the market, but so, I'm sorry if I pat myself down tonight. I am absolutely fucking roasted.
Fucking warm, man.
It's really hot. But I've got something to ask you. I did see a quick glimpse of a Jag with some biscuits in it. What happened with the biscuits and the Jag? I've missed out last week, so I want to know what's gone on.
I've had a fucking Mary Land Rover, mate. There's a quick version, there's a long version, man.
I want all the details. I want to know everything that's fucking gone on. I've missed out on what's going on.
Very quickly then. Last Monday, we was at Mia's sports day in the morning, Ava's in the afternoon. So we went to Mia's. When it finished, we shot over to Costco, which we've got to go on the motorway for. It's probably about 25 minutes, half an hour away from the school. But on the way to there, I had to go to the school uniform shop to get Shanae some shorts because her sports day was the following day. So, we love you. Come on. So, we love you. So I was driving to the uniform shop, and I got a message up on my dash to say that the diesel particulate filter, so the DPF, needed cleaning. So I needed to do over 40 miles an hour for 20 minutes. And that'd clean it. And I was like, I do that every single fucking day. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I really don't know why this is happening. And the week before that, on the Monday, I'd been to Kent, which was just 380 mile round trip. And on the Saturday, we went to Longleat, which was about 320 mile round trip.
Fucking hell.
And then on the Monday, I've got this issue with the filter. So I was a bit like, that can't be right, man. I drove the car like I've stole it. There's no way that the filter can be fucking blocked. But we left there, headed towards the motorway, got on the motorway, and then I got a big green message flash up saying, cleaning process complete, jobs are good and fucking brilliant. Carry on to Costco, go to Costco, come out, car's fucked. So it's saying, contact dealer. I couldn't do over 40 mile an hour. It was just a fucking heap of shit. So I sent an email of the picture of the dash to Charlotte, who's the service manager there, and says, obviously, I've got something wrong with the car. I need a car for the morning. Can you get something dropped to my house today? And she messaged me back saying, oh, if someone phoned me and says, I can't get there tonight, but what we'll do, we'll get someone to you between 7:30 and 8 in the morning. Yep, that's perfectly fine. I haven't got a 7-seater. I said, that's fine. I just need a 7-seater for next weekend because we're going away for the weekend. So I had this Jag. Actually, Jag was pretty good, to be fair.
What was it?
I don't know. I think it was an F-Pace or something, F-Pace Sport. Something. It was nice. It's basically a Range Rover Velar, but with a different jacket on, same chassis, same engine, same dash inside, very much so. It just seemed to drive nicer than the Velar, to be honest. Or it had a different engine. It was quite lively. Anyway, I phoned him up Friday morning and says, you've obviously had my car for a week. Firstly, what's wrong with my car? Secondly, I need a 7-seater for 3 o'clock this afternoon. So your car's not even been on the ramp yet, Mr. Harrison. And we haven't got a 7-seater, but we're still looking. So at 1 o'clock, I went down there off my own back and just says, where the fucking hell is my 7-seater? And I ended up kicking off in there and just not even being a prick, mate, man. I'm fucked off with them. I'm not even going to lie. So they're telling me now that there's something wrong with the throttle body on the car, which causes them to perforate with tiny, tiny, tiny pinholes. And when I accelerate, the air's sucking in through them pinholes, which then causes the car to inject more diesel to get the mix right, which then creates this fume issue, the emissions issue, which causes the filter to block up. So regardless of how hard I drive the car, in fact, the harder I drive the car, the more fume I'm creating in the filter, basically. So they know it's a known fault. So then I was like, well, if it's a known fault, why haven't you recalled my car? Why haven't you done a recall on the car and changed the throttle body? Why are you waiting for people to break down in 70-odd grand motors when you know there's a fault on the car? Basically, because some of them are faulty and some of them aren't, and they don't know which ones are and which ones aren't. And it's a very expensive job to do that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, when will you get the throttle body for my car? We don't know. It could be 16 weeks. And I was like, what, you want about 16 weeks, you prat? So he says, honestly, Paul, I don't know. He says, obviously. I said, you've got a brand new Discovery over there in the showroom. Take the throttle body off that, put it on my car. And he said, I can do that, but that's one of the faulty ones that's on there. So it's not faulty now, but it might go faulty like yours has. So I don't want to do that. And I says, well, what are they putting on the brand new cars at Land Rover? And he says, the new throttle bodies. I said, well, get your ass over to Solihull, which is fucking 12 miles away. Go and get a throttle body off the line and put it on my car. And he's like, it don't work like that. And I was like, well, it fucking needs to. I'm not waiting 16 weeks for my car. So to be fair, Ollie, who deals with that sort of things, to be honest, he's a proper sound kid, and he's always straight down the middle. He don't bullshit or nothing like that. And he says, Paul, I'll get it as quickly as I can, mate, but it's out of my hands. It's nothing to do with me. Now, all he's in charge of is managing the mechanics in the garage, but he came out to see me just because it was me. So I can't really tear him a new arsehole because actually it's fuck all to do with him. Then they come and says, we found you a Disco Sport, which is the small one. It's the only 7-seater we've got in the place that you can take, but it hasn't been cleaned. And I says, I'm not asked about it being cleaned. I'm not asked about it being a Disco Sport. I just want a 7-seater car so I can use it the weekend with my missus and my kids. Monday morning, I'll bring it back to you and I'll pick the Jag back up again. And then I'll find out what's happening with the repair on my car. And also, I need a Disco 5 sorting by next weekend. So I drove out of Land Rover. I got about half a mile away from and look, you pull out of there onto the main dual carriageway, which is not, I don't know if you remember when we went to V-Juice and when we went and picked the truck up. It's like a big dual carriageway. Well, I pulled out onto that dual carriageway, headed towards the motorway, and it was 30-odd degrees on Friday. It was ridiculous. Put the aircon on. The aircon's broke and it's blowing out heat at about 600 degrees, mate. And I swear, I lost my shit. And I was like, it was ridiculous. And I thought, I can't go back there because if I go back there, I'm going to end up driving this through the fucking front of the showroom. I swear, I was pissed off. So I got home, had the car for the weekend. We never went out Saturday. We went out Sunday and the day. It's shocking. Fucking ridiculous. Monday morning, first thing, go to Land Rover to get the Jag back and find out what's happening. And I walked in there. I was already pissed off. And I walked in there and they're like, morning, Paul, did you have a nice weekend? And I was like, fucking nice weekend, you fucking cunts. I swear, I was abusing everyone, mate, for a good 40 minutes. I was kicking off in there bad. I said, my 4 kids are in A&E. Be fucking dehydration, you cunts. I said, you've literally give me a fucking slow cooker. And she was like, I'm really sorry, I didn't realise it wasn't working and blah, blah, blah. And I said, what the fuck? And then Charlotte, there's two Charlottes there, the one who dealt with my car and the manager. So the manager, Charlotte, comes over. She's like, is everything right, Paul? And I says, you know what? It's not, actually. I said, what the fuck's happening with my car? And she's like, well, we've been on to Land Rover and they're saying they'll get the throttle body out as quickly as they can. And I said, Charlotte, they've got throttle bodies on the line. They're putting them on brand new cars that people are going to pay 70 odd, 80 odd thousand pounds for. Why the fuck haven't I got some sort of priority when you've already had my money? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And then she was like, there's no need to start shouting. I says, I haven't fucking started shouting yet. I said, I swear, I was fucking pissed off, mate. And it's more, like up until now, as much as I've fucking I've kicked off in there 2 or 3 times, but I must have been in there 30 or 40 or 50 times in the last 13 months. Only 3 times where I've lost my shit in there. Once when the bitch was lying to me, the other fucking little rat that works in there. I can't even remember the last 2. It might have even been them 2 times, and maybe once before that. I've never kicked off since this new Charlotte started and Ollie and that. And actually, I've had more problems in that time than anything because they were changing the parts, damaging parts, going back in to have the damaged parts changed and damaging more parts. And it was all fault of the staff, not even fault of that car. So I said to her, I haven't even fucking started shouting yet. I said, but I am fucked off with this. I said, I want a Disco 5 or a Range Rover Sport 7-seater by the end of the day today. And she's like, well, we're looking for one. I says, well, you know what? There's cars in here. There's a brand new Disco parked over there. Put it out the fucking front and I'll use it. And then she went, Paul, you need to understand that we don't build these cars. You need to take these issues up with JLR. And I says, I swear, mate, I says to her, I says, see my fucking shoes on my feet? I said, they're made by a Chinese kid. I says, but I bought them from fucking JD. I says, and when they're fucked, I take them back to JD and they either give me a new pair of shoes or they give me my fucking money back. They don't tell me to go and find some sweatshop in China and find the little cunt that's made them. I said, I haven't bought the car off JLR. I've bought it off you. I said, my sailor contract was with you. You fucking sort my car out. I said, in fact, I'll tell you what, stick that car up your ass. I don't want it. I said, I'm done with it. I'm rejecting the vehicle. I said, I don't want the car. I said, but I do want a fucking 7-seater by the end of the day. And she was saying, well, you need to put a letter of complaint in. I says, I'm telling you now, I'm stood in your fucking showroom. I'm telling you as the customer service manager, I do not want that vehicle. So do whatever you've got to do to put the wheels in motion, get more refund. I want a full refund on the car for the full purchase price of the car. And then there was a woman, they've got like a glass showroom in there. And when you go and buy a new car, it has a sheet over it and there's like a plaque. And it's got like Mr. Paul Harrison, welcome to Land Rover and all this bullshit. When I got mine, they pulled the sheet off. And I was a bit like, mate, I've been here for 3 hours. Give me the fucking keys, Roy. I want to get out of that. But there was a Range Rover Sport in there, and it was all like covered over. But I could just tell it was a Range Sport. And there's a woman in there signing all the paperwork and whatever. And I said, love, do not sign that paperwork. I said, I know that car's anything between 80 and 100 grand in there. I said, the minute you put your name on that paper, they resolve all responsibility of you buying a fucking car worth £100,000. I said, they're a bunch of cunts. And there was going, oh, Mr. Harrison, there's no need for that. That's not true. And I says, that's my experience for 13 months. I said, every single time I've been fobbed off and I've let it go and I've let it go and I've let it go and I've let it go. I said, I'm not fucking letting it go no more. I said, you're a bunch of fucking idiots selling luxury cars at top end money with shit service. I said, no, I ain't fucking putting up with it anymore. I said, so fuck you and fuck the car. And I ended up bouncing out of there with the Jag. Because I swear I was ready to punch some cunt, mate. I got outside and I fucking sat there. And you know, when you're shaking, I wanted to get back in there and just start fucking smashing the cars. My fucking head was done in. Got back to the office and I penned a letter to this Charlotte, basically just as professional as I could make it, saying, actually, in essence, I want my money back for the car. I've had this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. I listed all the problems, all the issues, all the lies, all the bullshit I've had off them. And then I got an email off her to say I forwarded it on to my boss, and I got an email off her boss saying I've received it and I've seen it. I'm really sorry to hear all the problems that you've had over the 13 months, and I'm aware of the issues and blah 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 and fucking whatever. But you need to understand that we have to follow a protocol where ordering replacement parts is concerned, and we're in the hands of Land Rover, and sometimes there's nothing we can do. And I just.
I don't know what's happened. I think Paul's frozen. I think Paul's frozen. If anybody can see in chat, if we're still live, please tell me that we're still live. I don't know if we're still live. I think Paul's frozen. I don't know what's going on. You're back, Paul's bro. I was getting right into that story then. I was getting right into that story.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just sent her an email saying, firstly, I don't give a shit. Like, your issues with your supply chain ain't my problem, nor do I give one single fuck. However, I do want. This was on Monday afternoon, and I says, by the end of the day tomorrow, I want a replacement Disco Sport or a Range Rover Sport 7-seater. Sorry, a Disco.
Oh, Paul's gone again. Paul's gone again. Ah! Oh, Paul's gone. Get him back. I want this story. Where's he gone? I want this story. I've missed out on so much this week. It's unreal. I'm so invested in this story. Paul needs to come back and tell us the rest of the story. I'm invested into this story. Here he comes. Yes.
Well, I don't know what's going on with my internet, mate. Maybe fucking my internet's owned by Land Rover or something.
Someone just said you've been assassinated by Jaguar Land Rover.
I replied back and says, I don't care about your supply chain issues, nor do I give a single fuck about them. They're not my problem. Tomorrow, by 5 o'clock, I want a Disco 5 HSE Luxury, which is what I've bought and paid for, or a Range Rover Sport 7-seater. And I want a reasonable time frame for fixing my car. And if I haven't got that by 5 o'clock tomorrow, then I want you to refund my car in full. So yesterday morning, I got up, and in fact, Tash took the kids to school, and I stayed at home with them. And then I was just catching at home till I'd left the house about 9:45. But just before I left to go to the office, Land Rover phoned me. Hi, Paul, just let you know, we've managed to find you a Disco Sport, and you can keep that for as long as you want to, until yours is done. I says, I don't fucking want a Disco Sport. I says, what do you not understand? I says, I paid 70 odd grand for a Disco 5, and that's what I want. I says, and she said, well, I think we might have located a Range Rover Sport 7. I said, I don't want it. I said, as of now, I want a Disco 5 HSE Luxury, the same as what I've got, and I want it, and I also want a date by 5 o'clock when my car's going to be fixed. So, and I fucking threw the phone down, and I was like, fuck you. Then I emailed this Nikki back, who's the head of something else, and said, they've just been on the phone and offered me a Disco Sport. What bit of my email did you not understand yesterday about me wanting either a Disco 5 or a Range Rover? I've now changed my mind. I only want a Disco 5, and it has to be a HSE Luxury. That's what I've bought. That's what I paid for. Blah, 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 blah. And I want to know by 5 o'clock when my car's been fixed. It needs to be in a reasonable time frame. If it's not, I do not want the vehicle back. So about 1 o'clock yesterday, they phoned me and said, we've managed to source a Disco 5 HSE Luxury. The lads are on the way over to your factory to swap it over, so you haven't got to leave the factory, blah, 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 blah. Drop me the car off, and then fuck off. And then I sent an email to, no, tell a lie. I sent an email this morning because she didn't answer me yesterday. So I sent an email this morning, which basically said, thanks for your reply yesterday. And then in brackets, oh, actually, no, you didn't bother your ass to reply to me yesterday. But thank you for sorting out the Disco 5. However, I did say to you yesterday I wanted an answer by 5 p.m. I haven't got the answer, so please take this as official notification that I want you to start the ball rolling on a full refund on the vehicle, and I'm rejecting the car. Don't want it. Big long list of all the fuck-ups again, blah, 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 blah. And then about half an hour after I sent that, her gaffer phoned me, who's like head of business. Have I gone again? Oh, you still there?
Yeah.
So he basically phoned up and he says, hi, Mr. Harrison, everything okay? And I was like, mate, I know you've read the email, so I know you know everything's not okay. I says, but I appreciate your call. I says, I'm not actually an arsehole, believe it or not. I'm not. I said, I've tried to work with you guys. I've tried to be reasonable, blah, blah, blah. I says, but I'm at the end of my tether now. I want my money back for the car, and I want it back in full. I don't give a fuck how long I've had the car for. I don't give a fuck what it's worth now. I want the money back that we paid for that vehicle and the 5-year service plan, which was another £6,000 or whatever it was. And he basically was saying that, and I says, when your staff are telling me that it's not their problem, I need to get in touch with JLR. I said, I've lost all faith, confidence, and trust in your ability to even service my car for the next 5 years. I said, I'm not interested. I said, so I want the money back. And he was like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And I says, absolutely. He said, well, we've managed to get the part for tomorrow. I says, I honestly don't care if you've got the part now and it's working. I don't want the car back. I'm done with it. I says, and if it takes me to threaten to return my car for you to be able to source a part, that's not a company I want to be dealing with anyway. I said, so take your car and shove it up your ass. I wasn't even rude to him, to be fair. We had quite a long conversation. And he just said to me, look, I came here when Charlotte joined and we blatantly didn't realise the scale of the problems that are in this place, but we're desperately trying our best to work them out. And Charlotte's mortified that she said that about JLR and she didn't mean to offend you by that. And it was sort of something that she said just because you was ranting and raving. She was just trying to sort of just pacify me, really. And I says, I don't care. I says, you know what? I said, if you read my email that I've just sent, I have actually said that since Ollie and Charlotte joined the company, things have improved dramatically. I'm not here to knock Charlotte. I'm not here to knock Ollie, but I don't believe that you're giving them the resource to carry out their job properly. On that basis, I haven't got no confidence in you or that vehicle or your staff or that dealership to do what you've got to do for 5 years with my car. So actually, I want you to just put the motions forward for just refunding me.
The question is, what are you getting instead?
Tesla.
Are you really?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I've been a test drive of Tesla. The naughty. But I mean, this isn't about me wanting the Tesla, to be honest, mate. This is about them being a bunch of arseholes.
See, the thing is for me, Paul, is you pride yourself on customer service and you want to be treated the same way you treat everybody else, and you've had a shit fucking time with their customer service. The vehicle is a beautiful vehicle, but it's not done what you've wanted it to do for fucking 13 months.
And I said that to him today. I says, mate, you've put me in £110,000 Range Rovers, £70,000 Velars. You've put me in other Discoveries. You've put me in Evokes. You've put me in Range Rover Sports, £100,000. And out of all of them vehicles, I prefer my own car. I prefer the Discovery over that Range Rover I had was the bollocks, but more the engine was the bollocks. It was powerful. It was a 4.4 V8. It was fucking banging. It sounded the bollocks. It was really quick. Got me fucking 3 more bastard points. But I still prefer the Discovery. I still prefer the functionality of my car. It just suits me better. I says, and I haven't got an issue with the car. I said, naturally, when I bought this car, I genuinely thought I'd found the perfect car for me, for my needs and for the business needs, to be able to justify spending fucking £74,000 on a bastard car.
Yeah.
I said, so it's not about anything other than I'm just not happy with the service. I'm not happy with the reliability of the car. I'm not happy with the way you deal with things when they go wrong. Simple as that.
Yeah, you don't spend that money just to be fobbed off like that. Let's be realistic.
I said, mate, I know I could have been and spent 15 grand on a brand new Kia, and I know I'd have got better customer service than what I've had for the last 13 months.
100%.
So yeah, that's been 2 weeks of bollocks, mate.
What was the biscoffy thing? What was the biscuits? Who the fuck?
Because normally I normally get to the showroom and collect the car, and then when I get there, they make me a latte and give me some biscuits. Because they brought the Jag to my house, they sent some biscuits from the dealership. But then I said to her on Monday, when I went in there Monday morning, mate, I swear I lost my shit in there. And she says, look, we put some biscuits in the car. I said, do you honestly think I'll give a fuck about 5 biscuits?
I just saw you on the video. I saw you scanning the car, and all of a sudden it fucking in couples. I saw these biscuits. I'm like, they're fucking bruising him up with some fucking biscuits. Fucking hell. And she's trying to say that, oh, you know what? We sent you a car and we sent you some biscuits. I wanted a box of the fucking stuff you can't. What the fuck you playing?
Sort of. Look, I know, and I said to her gaffer today, I know genuinely she's trying her best to resolve not only my issues, lots of people's issues. I says, but if you're telling me that it's acceptable, because I know there was one customer that went in there and spent £140,000 on a Range Rover SVR, which is the supercharged 6 litre fucking all singing, all dancing thing. The woman drove it out of the showroom. She went back there within 30 minutes because there was electrical faults on the car, which is...
No!
I mean, mate, to be fair, as much as the shit I've had, most of my issues have not been with a faulty car. Most of my issues have been with idiot staff.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've had 2 genuine faults on the car, the reversing sensors, and then this issue that they've got now. Everything else was related to that crash that I had, and then everything subsequently thereafter. The fucking woman with the fucking floor cleaner scratching my front bumper and all them sort of things.
But the dirty hands and stuff like that, just little things like that.
I mean, it's all them things that you actually, which isn't about that car. And I know there's people who've inboxed me and says, yeah, mate, I'd never buy a Land Rover, they're so unreliable. Actually, I haven't particularly got an issue with the reliability of the Land Rover. And actually, he's up there with one of the nicest cars that I've drove for a daily drive, that he's quite quick, and it's got 7 seats, and it's got all the luxuries, and it's got the screens in the back and all them bits and pieces. There's not much else on the market for that sort of money. Not even for that sort of money. There's probably the RSQ7, which is 7-seater. Maybe the GL AMG Merc, which again, they're like 120,000 pound cars. You know what I mean? They're not fucking. I'm not saying they're not 75 grand. Look, that's not expensive, but I mean, there's another 30,000 pounds worth of car on top for them vehicles, if not more, for the AMG Merc. But I don't know, mate. I was fucking. It's just done my head in. But I've had an email tonight off the Nicky again to say, because basically they said to me, I've got this part in, we should have it fixed by Friday. And I says, listen, I don't want my car back. Drop me off another disco. I'll drive that gladly until the day that you send me my money back.
Yeah.
Then I'll drive this back to the showroom and I'll give it you back, and I'll get a taxi home. And he was like, basically says, you can't do that. He says, like, once your car's fixed, you need to come and get your car, because we'll take you off the insurance. I said, I'll put it on our company insurance. It's not a problem. I only have to log into our MIB database and put the registration number in, and I'm covered, done. And he's like, yeah, but it don't work like that, Paul. And I said, if I take my car back off you on Friday, I'm just accepting the car back, and actually I don't want the car back. So she sent me an email to say, firstly, Neil spoke to me and explained the situation. He wants to let you know that, one, he's got the ball rolling for a refund. But ultimately, that's in the hands of JLR again, because if they go back to JLR and JLR say no, the dealership says no. So I just said to him on the phone, my contract to sale is not with JLR, it's with you. I said, then I don't give a fuck whether JLR say they will or won't have that car back. I don't want that car. I do not want it. I'm not having it. I said, on that basis, because if they're giving me back and they're saying, no, I'm just going to drive it down there and park it up there, throw the keys at them and say, I want my fucking dough back. But then she said, I've got the ball rolling for the car to be refunded. The parts coming and we'll get it repaired as quickly as possible. And then just to clarify, if you accept your car back on Friday or whenever it's repaired, that does not have no bearing on your ability to return the car. Because I says, if I take it back, I'm basically saying, yeah, I'm happy to drive it, and I'm not.
Yeah.
But then it went on to say, in fact, I'll tell you exactly what the email said.
I hope it said there'll be a briefcase waiting for you.
Yeah, he pretty much read to me like they were going to refund my car, in essence, regardless of what the outcome was, because it said, dear Mr. Harrison, following the conversation with Neil, our head of business, this morning, he has asked me to confirm the following. One, we are currently processing your rejection claim. Two, the part for your current car will be in here in the morning and we will commence work ASAP. Three, please take this as confirmation that going back to your own car does not affect your request for rejection with the dealership. Neil will be in touch in due course as soon as he has more information for you with regarding the rejection. He would also like to offer his sincerest apologies once again and on behalf of the dealership, and has asked you to express his sadness at losing you from the brand and the dealership. So that would suggest that he's accepted that he's lost me as a customer.
Yeah.
And that basically would suggest that, because he said to me, even if Land Rover reject it, doesn't necessarily mean we will, because you bought the car off us. And I said to him today, Neil, can you honestly tell me that what I've been through for the last 30 months that you believe is acceptable? Because I fucking don't. And he says, not at all, Paul. He said, but obviously we've got a protocol that we have to follow. with Land Rover in order to return the car. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. 10 days. He said I'll know within 10 days anyway.
Fucking hell! I've missed a lot in fucking a week. I've missed a lot.
It's been a fucking nightmare.
Fucking hell! How much is Tesla costing you?
Mate, you fucking go. £145,000.
How much?
145 grand. but
and it's self-driving and all sorts of the Tesla. Doesn't it revert? Doesn't it park for you?
You know what? There's like my Discovery is a company car through my full-time job. So we had a meeting with the accountants the week before last, and the accountant was like, I have to put tax on it. Obviously, I'll get taxed because it's classed as a benefit in kind. So the tax I pay on that a month is about £850 a month to drive that car, which is still cheaper than me financing that car, insuring that car, fueling that car, taxing, servicing, maintaining, etc. So it's still cheaper, and I get to drive a decent car. But if we get the Tesla through the company, you get sort of whatever the car costs, you get that full breakdown back against corporation tax. So that'd save 20%. So on that car, it's nearly 30 grand. You get straight back off your corporation tax. Then you get, obviously, you've got free supercharging for life at all the superchargers from across the whole of Europe. So I can charge the car free of charge across every single service station that carries a Tesla charger. I can get a charging point put at work, so that costs me nothing to do, to fill up. I can get a charging port put at home, and if I fill it up from empty, they reckon it'll cost between 9 and 11 quid, depending on what your energy provider is. For that 11 quid, you'll get a range of between 250 and 350 miles, depending on how you drive it. So it's like a tank of fuel for 11 quid.
Fucking hell.
It's not even 2 gallons of petrol at the minute, which is, do you know what I mean? 2 gallons of petrol.
134 or something at the minute.
Huh?
134 or something at petrol off here.
Obviously, I get more diesel from work currently, but the company pays for it. But I reckon I'm spending between 6 and 7 grand a year on diesel. So, like, if you put that over 3 years, you got 21 grand saving on diesel. We get the corporation tax back, and then the residual on the car is really good as well.
So the saving exactly the same amount as what you purchased on the original vehicle.
Basically, it worked out roughly. I've done some maths on the Tesla. We've had a Tesla for 3 years and sold it for currently what they're selling for second-hand after 3 years. It would probably cost the company about £10,000 for me to have that car for 3 years, and I would pay less benefit in kind because it's clean and green. Like at the moment, I'm paying $840 or something like that for the Disco. If I went for the P100D Model X, which is the 150 grand one, I'd be paying around about 150, 22 and a half. I'd pay pretty much the same for this year, and I'd pay just a little bit less next year. And then from year 2020, it drops to 2% on my benefit in kind. So I pay 60 quid a month.
Fucking hell.
And I've been in test drove the the 100D Model X. Fucking things are mental.
Did you love it?
You know what? I'm really hooked on the gadgetry in that car, mate. It's mad. And the car,
it's got like a huge TV screen, like in the middle of the console.
It's bigger than like an iPad Pro. It's a big old chunk. It looks like a 32-inch telly on its side. Self-driving and fucking. If I was coming to your house and put your address in the sat nav, it'll take me through whatever superchargers I need to ensure I've got enough power to get there.
That's cool.
So, and then if I go on a supercharger, 30-minute supercharging will give you 170 mile range. So by the time you've gone into a service station, had a piss, bought a coffee, and gone back to your car, you've got another 170 miles for fuck all. And if I buy that car now, huh?
I just want to mention something to Kaylee, just to let you know, if Paul gets a Tesla, they fucking better not do biscoffees because he don't fucking need to go back in there. He should have the vehicle and not fucking break down every 10 minutes so he won't need the biscuits.
Exactly.
It sounds fucking. I do like them. I've seen them, and they're right.
Well, I went and test drove the 100D, which is the standard one. That fully loaded is £110,000. So that comes with the 22-inch wheels and everything on there, apart from the ludicrous mode that the fucking P100D's got. So I went and test drove that. I was even the power of that's 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds or something. But it's fucking mental torque. It's like being on a roller coaster. I'm not exaggerating. It's like ridiculous, mate. And then
proper gadget, it fuck like there's loads of gadgets on it.
To be fair, everything's on the touchscreen, so silly things like if I double tap the fucking cruise control stalk, it just starts driving, like literally, and it will stop, it will start, it will turn corners.
No way!
It's fucking mental. I swear, it's crazy. It blew my mind. And then he was showing me the app on his phone, and he was saying, "Look, if I press that, I can open my doors." And it's got them fucking gull-wing doors on it, come up and over, and I can bib the horn from here. So if I can't find it in a field, if I've gone, say, to a festival, you can bib the horn. I can flash the lights and sound the alarm. And I said, to be respect, mate, I can do all that on the Land Rover. On the Land Rover, I can drop my seats from my app, or I can put my air conditioning on from in the house, and it will put the air conditioning on. So when I get into the car, it's cold. Or I can put the heating on, so if it's cold, when I get in the car, it's warm. Or I can put my electric seats on, hot or cold. Or I said, I can do all of that from the Land Rover app. I can see how many miles I've got left in the tank. I can lock my doors. I can sound my alarm, flash the lights, shut the windows, open the windows, shut the sunroof. And he says, can you do this? And he pressed a button. Mate, the fucking car drove over to us from his phone. And I was like, fucking flash motherfucker. And I was like, I need one of these, mate. And then I spoke to the MD and said, look, there's obviously savings to be had here. I said, apart from the fact I've had all these issues with that car, one, I get a direct benefit monthly on my benefit in kind tax, and two, the business is potentially 35 grand over 3 years better off.
Yeah.
And then Tesla emailed me and said, oh, Paul, we've managed to get a P100D in for you to test drive. And I was like, I'm there in about, give me 3 minutes, mate. I'm fucking on my way. The P100D, mate, honestly, the 100D is probably up there with one of the fastest cars I've ever been in.
Really?
The 100D is next level. It's literally twice as quick. 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds in Ludicrous Plus. And it's like with 7 of me and you in there. It'll go from 2.6 seconds with me, 7 up with me and you and another fucking Dale and all them fucking lumps. 2.67 seconds. Not even a sec. Mate, it's mental. It's like just ridiculous amounts of torque.
It sounds like you've definitely talked yourself into one of them.
Hold on, I'm just about to send an email of complaint to this cunt, Häagen-Dazs.
Is that the coffee one?
Mate, it's a fucking Häagen-Dazs ice cream, salted caramel. It looks like the fucking Land Rover's run over the cunt.
Oh, I forgot to ask. How's your sponsorship going on with Biscoffee? Because you fucking got tagged in that video a million times. I'm sorry, I was one of them people. I'm sorry.
You were the only one who's one I accepted to put on my timeline, to be fair. Every fucker was tagging me in
it. You know what? At least it shows that people pay attention. People are paying attention to what the fuck is going on.
So,
well, we're 47 minutes in. I'm my 4th can down. I'm feeling it. So I'm going to have a good night tonight. I'm drinking Brewdog Punk IPA. It's 5.6% and I've had 4 cans in 47 minutes. And I've got another 8 in the fridge. So if anybody wants to see me dancing tonight, then I'll go get some more beer. But it honestly sounds like you've really talked yourself into this new motor, and it sounds fucking amazing.
You know what? Genuinely, right, the Tesla is next level, and it's fast, and it's got all that technology. And if Tasha had a 7-seater, I would look for something else. Maybe even the only reason why I prefer the Tesla over an i8 or something like that is genuinely they've got a much better infrastructure.
Right.
So they've got that free supercharging. They've got more superchargers throughout. Well, they've got more electric charging stations in the whole of Europe than any other charging company. Most of them you see are Tesla. So you can.
Is the i8 really expensive though? Like super expensive?
What?
The i8?
Cheaper than that.
Cheaper than the Tesla?
Yeah.
I thought because when they first came out, what the stupid money?
150 grand is fucking stupid money, mate.
I thought there were more than that.
No, I don't think so. I'm sure they're about 110 or 100, even
Yeah,
100.
they don't look like to me personally. The Tesla. No, I'm sorry, guys, for us talking about cars, but the Tesla looks more like a car than the i8 does. The i8 looks futuristic, and I don't like the look of it. The actual Tesla looks like a car.
But I never used to like the i8 at all for that reason. But actually, it's proper grown on me from an aesthetics point of view. But Tesla are 100% leading the way in this electric market fucking thing, man. Mate, some of the shit that they're testing in America is ridiculous, like to the point where they can get the Tesla now. If I've got a meeting at your house tomorrow and it's in my calendar on my phone, when I get into my car in the morning, it syncs in my calendar and just fucks off. It just drives me to yours. And it'll take me all the way past the superchargers. And in America, it'll pull into the supercharging bay and flip the flap, and the supercharger will hook on without you even getting out of the car. And then
what the fuck?
Then I can get to your house, and then I can just send the car off to the supercharger on its way, mate. I swear it's mental. Proper. Like, you can't use that facility anywhere in the world at the moment because I think they do autonomous driving up to level 7, which is full autonomous, where there's just no human interaction. Legally, you can use up to autonomous 3, which means even like that one there that I drove the other day. I drove down a main dual carriageway. You set the cruise control. Like, as soon as you activate the cruise control, it automatically activates at the speed limit of the road, which is quite clever, actually. So even if you're doing 60 on a 40, you click it on, it's at 40 miles an hour. Then you just knock the stick up, and it'll do 60 if you want it to.
Yeah.
And then the radars keep you at a set distance between the car in front. And if that car slams on its brakes, the Tesla slams on its brakes. If a car cuts into the gap, the Tesla just drops back and creates that gap again. If the cars speed up, the Tesla speeds up. If you're going on the dual carriageway, say on a motorway at 70, and you're in the middle lane and you're approaching a car, you can just put the indicator on manually, and then the car will just overtake. It'll do the overtaking maneuver and all that bullshit.
Wow, that is fucking.
But they've actually got it fully autonomous. The ability of the car is probably years ahead of the legality use of that car.
Yeah,
Look, they've just launched the Arctic tractor unit in America, fully electric, fully autonomous. So it will drive to a customer's empty, pick up a trailer, and fuck off with it to wherever it's got to go.
No way.
But mate, I guarantee within 10 years that shit will be just the norm. I said to Tash, when our kids are older, mate, they're going to be saying, like, we'll be going, do you remember when you used to get a taxi and you'd have to like make small talk? Been busy, mate. Oh, not too bad. Mate, they're just going to be getting into empty cars and they're just getting tucked where they've got to go. Crazy shit.
Kaylee, no, is it Raoul? No, Kaylee said my friend's got an i8 and it cost 138 grand.
I know you can buy a brand new i8 for 100,000 because I've looked at them. Obviously, you can spec it up and you can change different things, but
fucking hell, I'm stoked, just excited by the sound of that car, let alone actually driving one. The spec of that looks and sounds amazing.
It's faster than the Lamborghini Aventador over a quarter of a mile.
No way.
Honestly, it's like ridiculous.
But they look like proper cars, though, don't they? Like, just look like a regular car, don't they? I've seen them on the road.
That's what I like about it. It's a bit of a fucking wolf in sheep's clothing.
Which one have you looked at?
The Model X P100D.
That's what I say, Model X. They just look like cars.
Tasha don't like them.
I'll be honest, they are sort of, they do look very much like a Duke, a Nissan Duke. They look like one of them, don't they?
Rocking Nissan Duke, you mad guy.
Paul's rocking in a Nissan Duke.
Mate, you'd be surprised how big they are. They're actually like, I know anyone who looks at a picture of a Model X, you don't appreciate how big they are until you stood next to them. And actually, the Model S, which is the 5-door saloon, it's a bit like, it's like E-Class Mercedes size, but to me, it looks like a bit like a 4-door Aston, man. It's actually, I really like that as well, but obviously I need 7 seats. Mate, he looks fuck all like a Nissan Juke.
Is the X from the picture I'm looking at from the X? I'm not even gonna lie. It looks a bit like a Ford Fiesta or a Ford Focus. Is that 7 seats?
Yeah.
Where the fuck are the 7 seats? The picture I'm looking at, it looks like a Fiesta. That's on the Tesla website. They've really underrated this car in the pictures. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's the Model X. What is it? The 75D or the 100D? P100D.
P100D.
So basically, it's the same chassis, but they've obviously upgraded certain parts of it. $140 fucking $1,000. Fuck. But that is looks. Let's have a look. I'm gonna share your screen. Bear with me. Look at that. I'm not even gonna lie. In black, it looks sick. Well, I don't. It looks small though, Paul. It really, really does look small.
Mate, you know what? It's at least as big as an X6. It's that sort. You know what I mean? It's a big old unit. Like I know, it's completely. It's so hard to judge size and things until you next.
It does look small on the pictures, doesn't it? I'm sorry, guys, that we are doing endless cars tonight. I do apologise. You're currently watching me and Paul catch up, and I'm really excited for this motor because it does look nice, but it looks really small in the pictures.
No, it's not. It's not small at all. Actually, it's a unit of a car, and so, I mean, it's not the 7 seats and as big. It's not as big as the Discovery by any stretch, but for me, it's very much a BMW X6 size.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this this motor. I'm sorry, guys. I have got topics. I have got stuff we can talk about, but I'm currently looking at this motor, so I'm sorry, guys, that I am looking at this motor. Oh yeah, it looks a bit taller, doesn't it? It's quite tall, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's way too. There's lots and lots of room in the car.
It's very conspicuous on the fact it holds 7 seats and doesn't look 7-seater though, does it?
I'm not screen sharing anymore. Let me just see if I can screen share again.
I have seen them on the roads though. I have seen them on the streets, and they do look. Maybe I've seen the shitty version.
Are you screen sharing now?
Yeah.
Let me just try and fast forward this.
It looks like a car, doesn't it?
No, but the point is, mate, watch this now, right? This is against an Aventador, Lamborghini Aventador.
And this is an electric motor.
It's an electric car, 7-seater family car. Right, and not only does it, but look at the distance that it gains, right, from the start for the 1/8 of the mile, how quick it takes off compared to the Lambo.
73% of charge, so it's not even fully charged. Why? See you later.
Like now, as you get to the end of the quarter mile, the Lamborghini's catching it. But actually, there, it's done it.
So actually, on like the torque and the acceleration, is ridiculous. That is sick. Yeah, Model X P100D. There we go.
Yeah, it's impressive, man.
That is so nice. It is unreal. Well, I think we better talk about something at least vape related this week. We've seen as we've done an hour on cars.
Who's going to sponsor? Tesla should sponsor me. I've been on a little fucking fanboy. Have you seen loads of the YouTubes I've got, mate, where Tesla I know have hooked them up a mint deal on the cars? Some of these boys with like fucking 100,000 followers and shit like that.
Fucking hell. Just wait till you see Paul driving around in a Biscoffy fucking stickered up fucking Tesla. You need to get the Tesla, and then what happens is we take a load of nice pictures with biscotti biscuits on the bonnet and stuff like that, and we'll get you sponsorship, and they'll pay for it. That is absolutely mint. Right, we'll get on to something vape related this week. I am actually really sat here, really stoked about that car. I can't wait for you to let me have a sit in the passenger seat.
I haven't got one yet. I'm relying on a refund. Quid off fucking Land Rover.
Hurry up, Land Rover, sort it out, you fucking wankers. It's been 13 months, you pricks.
30 grand.
Tashi's like, I still want that other car, but I want 40 grand knocked off it.
But he said to me today.
I'm still going to Land Rover for my villa.
He said to me today, "You sure that you just want a refund? You don't want to replace the car?" And I should have said, "Mate, I'll replace it with a P100D if you want." Go to Tesla and I'll fucking do a straighten on it.
That is fucking amazing. Paul sponsored by Biscoffy and Tesla. Is that the 90mm AF dropping? When is it's not dropped already yet, has it, Paul?
As mate, it's on the website.
60 mils into 90s, isn't it?
Yep.
60 mils into 90s already on the website. 3 nick shots to make it up to 90 mil. If you know what flavors you're liking out of the AF line, you want in bigger bottles, make sure you go onto the Shady website and pick them up because they are now released.
99 and a penny for the 3 shots. 17 quid for 90 mil.
16.99 and a penny for the nick shots. So you're still sticking out with the pennies for the nick shots. Is that penny for the 3 nick shots?
Yep.
Oh, fucking even better. There you go. So if you've got a flavour that you like,
17 quid with the nick shots.
Get over there and get them purchased. So the first topic we've got this week, for vape related, is I'm going to see if I've got the article up here. Let me see if I can share my screen. This is an article from vaping360.com, and I'm going to share my screen. It's an article that says UK prisons allowing inmates to vape. I know there's been a massive ban recently. Let me just share my screen. There's my screen. UK prisons allow inmates to vape. After the smoking ban in British prisons last year led to riots and Ministry of Justice allowing prisoners to vape, the programme has been a big success with 33,000 inmates now buying electronic cigarettes. What's your thoughts on that, Paul? What are you thinking about inmates being allowed to vape rather than smoke?
I can hook them up a discount code, man. HMP10.
It also states in the article that obviously cigarettes are used as sort of a currency in jail, and now e-cigarette pods are now used as a currency in jail. So what they're basically doing is every week they're allowed to buy 6 pods. So they're actually using a pod system, or I don't know if it's a CE4 that's refilled and whatnot, but they're saying in the article it's pods. I think it's being trialed in Wales. I'm not sure if it's been a full throughout the whole UK, but obviously thinks in this article they're saying just Wales. 6 pods a week. I'm not sure on the flavors or anything like that. So they're obviously using a pod system.
Why 6 pods in a week? You're not allowed to on the Sabbath.
6 pods. That's all you're allowed is 6 pods a week. You're allowed to purchase 6 pods a week. That's it. Yeah, that's what it says in the article. It's basically saying that smoking's caused a massive havoc and loads of shit because obviously 75% of inmates are smokers or were smoking or buying tobacco products. And they're saying that obviously due to the ban and wanting obviously cleaner and fresher air in the prisons, and obviously not secondhand smoke through the prisoners smoking if the prison guard doesn't smoke or another prisoner doesn't smoke, they've brought in the cigarettes. So they're obviously allowing them to buy 6 pods a week. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the batteries. I'm not sure what they've got, what kit or anything like that. But I think, me personally, that's a massive thing going forward. I honestly do.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, personally. I think it's good they're allowed to vape. I personally, I don't think you should be allowed to vape or eat or anything in prison. I think you should just be in a room for your whole of your sentence, just with bread and water. All on the cunt. But the fact that they've allowed it, you know what though, mate? I know if they're using a pod system, they're probably using a blue system or something, and it's probably either Imperial Tobacco or Mr. Philip Morris or someone, and that's all that fucking grinds more gears, man. They're just like sewing it all up everywhere on them big volume.
But it is, isn't it? It's like, I don't know what the population in prisons is, but I can imagine it's got to be in the stupid thousands, like 100, 200, 300,000, 400,000 people in prison, even in the UK. And obviously, that to me personally is they're getting their numbers out. If it is a big tobacco product that is going in there, obviously it's a vapor related product, so it's obviously more safer for the prisoners and stuff like that. And it is definitely a benefit for obviously the powers that be that have turned around and gone, do you know what, we're banning cigarettes, but we're going to give you the safer alternative. That's definitely a positive in the limelight of, you know, big media to turn around and go, well, if prisons are allowing this, you know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of, they're not just going to allow shit in there. They don't allow a load of stuff. So it's definitely a positive. But to me personally, I do think big tobacco sort of got in there and gone, you know what I mean? Have these products, put these into there and sort of get these people off the fags in jail and get them on vaping. And it is a positive, but there has got to be a negative somewhere.
I'm just trying to look at UK prisons.
It's saying we could buy six packs of refills every week, but this is obviously come from a prisoner. But we obviously swap and sell each other packs. It's like how burn tobacco has used to be in currency in jail. Some people owed up to 20 packs. When I got in there, one prisoner told the news. All closed prisons in England and Wales are now smoke-free, reducing the risk of second-hand smoke to prisoners and staff. A prison service spokesman told Metro prisoners have been given support in quitting smoking if needed, including vapes, e-cigarettes, and nicotine replacement therapy. So they're obviously using it for sort of NRT sort of thing rather than actually, you know, the way we've used it to swap over. They've obviously used it as a nicotine replacement therapy.
And I think the reality is when you've got no choice, it works exceptionally well.
Mm.
So it's a good thing, but I'd imagine they're using a big tobacco or a big tobacco funded pod system.
Definitely. And it's obviously still, because obviously they still have to pay for the systems. They're not actually getting them for free by the sounds of it. And obviously it comes out of their, you know, weekly money, whatever they get. I think it's 17 quid a week or something like that prisoners get for spending on whatever they want inside jail. I think it's 17 quid. So they're still obviously getting that money to spend on that. It's not actually given for free, which is definitely a positive as well. But once again, it's whose pocket it goes in.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I just don't fancy the idea of using a pod that's been plugged up your missus' arse and fucking emailing the fucking company from the prison saying the fucking pod don't work. Contacts on it, mate.
The thing is, I think the main thing for me is the batteries. It doesn't say in this article what actual systems they're using. It doesn't say obviously with batteries and charging. I know they've got tellies and stuff like that in jail. That's a standard thing now, in it. Fucking hell, they've got
charging mobile phones.
Do you know what I mean? So sort of charging and stuff. How are they going about doing that? Obviously giving out like charging stations or plugs and cables for them charging and stuff like that. It's sort of And then could they change the e-cigarette into anything else? Do you know what I mean? It's
Little cheeky taser.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Man shot by taser in jail through e-cigarette.
Yeah.
You can see that top headline, can't you? Daily Mail.
Man electrocuted to death with fucking modified electric cigarette.
It's definitely a positive, and it's a good thing going forward that they're obviously seeing that electronic cigarettes are the future, which is definitely a positive. It's just how far they're going to take it and whether they're going to spread it out through the whole of the UK. I definitely see it as a positive. But then again, as you said, you're in jail. You shouldn't really be smoking. You shouldn't really have e-cigarettes. Shouldn't have that pleasure, but they fucking do. So, and my next one is, I'm going to skip the other one that I've got. And this is definitely a positive. This has definitely got to be a positive. Let's have a read of this. I'm going to share my screen. And you tell me what you think straight away as soon as you see the article. Can you see it?
No.
How about now?
Yeah. It's about time someone had some common sense, man.
Telling you. Absolutely telling you. It says here, a major academic journal will no longer allow authorities to call vapes tobacco products. In an editorial titled, Are E-Cigarettes Tobacco Products? Nicotine and Tobacco Research Editor-in-Chief, his name, explains the journal will only allow the use tobacco product to describe items containing actual tobacco leaf. I think that is a fucking huge step. A huge step.
No, it's the only downside to when you share your screen, I'm trying to scroll up the cunt to read.
It's a long article. If anybody wants it, what I'll do is after the show, I'll put all the links to the article in the description. So if you want to read on further to the articles we have discussed tonight, guys, you can have a look at that. But that I saw that article and I was like, do you know what? It is about time somebody turned around and said the fucking most obvious thing ever.
I agree 100%, mate. It's one of the things with the TPD that bores my piss is that it's fuck all to do with TPD. Vaping should have its own set of regulations, simple as that.
100%, 100%. And that article is in the US. And I don't know how good the article is, you know, to use in the UK and whatnot, but it is an article from the US. But it used to be the way where we sort of led on from the fact of what the US was saying and stuff like that. But it's about time someone turned around and said, do you know what? We shouldn't be regging this under sort of even labeling it under tobacco products because we all know it isn't a tobacco product. It doesn't use tobacco leaf. It doesn't use any procedures that they use to form tobaccos into cigarettes. And this is, to me, this is the only article I've been able to find that's actually stated that, and nobody in the UK has actually turned around and gone, do you know what, that article's out there and they're stating this. But I think that's a massive positive. But it's about time. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this cig that you're using then. Let's have a look at this cigarette you're using. Would you like to let everybody know what it is?
Yeah, I was in the shop on Friday last week. I think it was Friday. I was in the Yardley shop and the blue rep came in from Imperial Tobacco.
Look at that.
And he's like, you're going to tell me to fuck off, mate. I understand. I says, listen, I'm not going to tell you to fuck off. He's going around vape shops and there's people who are confusing big tobacco with the likes of IQOS. And regardless of whether big tobacco are involved in the vaping industry or not, if it's a vaping product, for me, it sits inside our industry perfectly well. And obviously the people that are saying fuck big tobacco, they're scared about the fact that big tobacco are going to steamroll this industry. For me personally, I haven't got an issue with stocking blue products in my shop. I don't think we'll be stocking blue products in the shop purely because the margin they give us on the resale is shit. On that basis, I ain't promoting their gear to fucking make no money on it. It's just not worth my while. Now, there's lots of shops going to be taking this because they're offering £600 bundles of free kit to any vape shop. So there's no strings attached. They'll give you so many of the Von Earls. They'll give you so many of the pods, so many bottles of liquid, so many packs of course, so many of these. I can't even remember what this is called. In essence, what this is one of them in a stick. So it takes the site. They've actually got their own cores, and he told me they're not made by Joytech, but I'm not so sure. It's exactly the same system as a Joytech, same size coil as the Joytech. The coil looks identical, but it's branded to a blue. It's
Which they can do anyway. We know white labeling happens in that anyway, doesn't it?
That's what I mean. It's a 0.6 stainless steel made to long coil, which is exactly the same as the Joytech coil. But that says it works. I can't even lie. I've been using it since Friday. It works really, really well.
Do you think they're coming along with the technology to sort of keep up with what's already out there, or what?
No, I think they're genuinely trying to buy the companies they can to have the best technology. They bought the company that make the Von Earl. So that's not even white. It's not even white labeled. They actually bought that company.
What they bought the actual Von Earl company?
Whoever made Von Earl, they've bought that company. Yeah.
No way.
He was. I mean, to be fair, I spent a good hour talking to the chap. Downsides to blue representatives, they haven't got a fucking clue what they're talking about. 99% of them are ex-tobacco salesmen.
Yeah.
That are still working for Imperial Tobacco, which is the company that owns Blue. He was saying to me, like, how come it spits every now and again, mate? And I was like, with respect, you should fucking know you're selling the shit. You know what I mean? And I said, I won't abuse him or nothing like that. I just, like, he was like, lots of shops have told me just to fuck off out. He said, other shops are just taking advantage of this £600 bundle. I says, well, I could take 2 bundles off. I could put one in each shop. I'll probably sell out over the weekend with it. But I'm never ever going to restock on it. So he was like, mate, honestly, you can just take it. If you want to put it on eBay, sell it for half price, up to you. It's up to me to try and do my job afterwards and sell it to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it worked. The Von Earl is a good pod system as well. I just think it could do with a slightly lower resistance coil in the Von Earl, in the pods.
And an ability to refill. But then that's where they're making the money from, obviously, the pods, aren't they? So they're not really going to want it to refill. But yet again, they sell the pod systems and they sell the juice separately as well, don't they, in the blue?
Yeah.
So they sell it as a 10ml bottle, don't they?
So, I mean, he basically said to me that obviously they used to supply many thousands of shops with tobacco. When they first started selling e-cigarettes of any nature, which probably goes back to 3 or 4 years ago. Actually, what they done was they hit their sales representative hit all them same retail outlets. He said, and the thing was, we've seen really, really healthy sales, but not much repeat business. And that's because hopefully, touch wood, they're coming over to the likes of our shops and saying, I've bought this, I don't really know how it works, and then we take them on the rest of their journey. What they are doing now is they're trying to get in. They've been tasked with getting into 1,700 vape shops in 6 months.
Fucking hell!
They've done 490 in 4 weeks in the UK. So,
but that's definitely with throwing products.
Well, that's 490 shops that have taken free £600 bundles.
Yeah.
So,
do you feel like when he was there, and obviously when he asked about obviously the device spitting at him and all that stuff, do you feel like you also educated him as well at the same time as him sort of selling a product?
I know for 100%. I educated him because we had a good old chat about educating. I told him he's a fucking idiot. Not even, I wasn't even like being disrespectful. I just says to him, I says, at the end of the day, you've worked for Imperial Tobacco. They've given all these sales reps a wage rise to go onto the electronic cigarette side of things. And they've been on one training course on what is an electronic cigarette. And I get that they've got a place in this industry, mate. We're never going to stop them. From my point of view, embrace them and just do what you've got to do. But at least make sure the people that are going out there are on fucking point and they know their shit.
Yeah, I think that's the main issue. Obviously, they're selling a product, and the majority, I can't say all, but the majority of vape shops know what they're talking about because it's vapors for vapors. You know, a lot of people that own vape shops, there's a few out there that aren't vapors and whatnot, and we know that's a fact. But you know, we've educated ourselves, and we've discussed about this before. About we've all educated ourselves, and we've done the long haul to learn what the fuck's going on. And for him to turn around and say he's been sat in a class and he's learnt about an e-cigarette for one fucking day, and then he's expected to go out. It's exactly as we've said about trading standards. You're only so good as your fucking training. And for him to walk in a vape shop and try to sell a vaping product to somebody who knows their shit, I'm not surprised people have told him to fuck off when he's asking why the fucking the device is spitting at him.
That's one of my issues. So I've not got an issue with Blue as a business. They're fully into the vape scene. They're doing what they've got to do. They're making vaping products. They're making liquids. It's quite a separate thing from the likes of the ICOS.
Yeah, because obviously, as you've said, he's obviously been done however long in selling actual tobacco products, and then for him to be turned around and gone, do you know what I mean? Here's a little bit of extra cash. Go sell this product. See how you get on. Do you know what I mean? On a something he has no fucking idea about. You know, he's sort of, yes, I get he's probably clued up on the product and whatnot and how to sell the product because that's his role. But then to go into somewhere and sort of be able to sell that product to somebody who's in the know is very difficult because you aren't in the know. And that to me is, yes, it's an e-cigarette product. Yes, the company is an e-cigarette company. They're in the right game to head forward and sort of see these visions. But for me personally, if they were to step in a shop and didn't know the shit, the first thing I'm going to go is, I don't want to know, mate, because you personally don't know what you're doing. Well, and I don't know whether that's everyone else's thought, because obviously you took your time out to speak to him, which is definitely a massive positive. But I just in my back of my head, I'm like, I'm teaching this bloke how to fucking, you know what I mean? How to suck eggs. 400 odd shops to take it on within fucking 4 weeks. It just proves what the fact of free shit actually fucking does.
You know what, mate? I think, to be fair, there's shops out there that are struggling. And the shops out there that have opened in recent times that think they're going to make themselves millionaires, and that them days are done. So someone comes in. I mean, at the end of the day, look at we've done exceptionally well with the AF, but there's still many hundreds of shops left that don't stock it.
Yeah.
If you were to walk into every vape shop and say, right, there's 5 bottles of each flavour there, sell it, and then if you want to reorder, knock yourself out, every cunt to take it.
Definitely. It's a good marketing thing, but once again, it's going back to they've got fucking money to do that, haven't they?
Exactly.
600 quid across fucking 462 shops or whatever they've stocked is a lot of fucking money.
Well, they want to do 1,700 shops. So 1,700 times 600. I'm not even sure what the maths is.
I'm going to fucking calculate that. £600 times by 1,700.
It's about 8 million, isn't it?
It's 1,020,000. To big tobacco, and this is just us talking from experience and knowing how much big tobacco actually fucking really makes. That ain't a scratch on their fucking pocket.
Mate, that's like literally, it's like me sending out 10 ml sample packs to fucking 20 shops.
Yeah. That for them, that is not a scratch. It really isn't a scratch. And it to me, it's like I sit back in my head thinking, well, they're wanting to be in the right business. We know they're big tobacco, but £1 million on marketing is fucking the flush down the toilet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
1,700 vape shops.
They've put 26 reps in on 40 grand. That's another. I think if you do the maths on that, it's about another £1 million.
So £2 million marketing Sounds like dinner, ladies.
Exactly what.
It's big dough, isn't it? £2 million just on marketing. It really makes you think who's actually behind these products. And we discuss it week in, week out, and we say, yes, they're pushing an e-cigarette product. Yes, they're in the right mind frame to sort of push it in the direction we want it to be in. And then you just think, £2 million on marketing. What's the fucking what's going on? And it really makes me think. Here we go. My local Nicky Fraser, my local vape shop won't take it because he sells shit 10ml bottles £4.99. Asco, he won 2 short fills for less than 13 quid at £1.50. As Paul said, Paul's got 2 shops. They've offered him £600 for each shop per shop. That's £1,200 worth of product for nothing. People are going to take that on just to try it. If not just to think, oh, we can make money on that.
Fuck all, mate. ICOS are offering up to £800 a month to have a screen in the window of my shop.
Fucking hell.
So I could earn 1,600 quid a month by having 2 screens in my shop. In one in each shop.
It's like you sit there and you think about it, and then you think about your morals, don't you? You think morals or dough or whatnot.
Without being flippant in any way, shape or form. I'm not that hard up for 1,600 quid.
You see what I mean?
Our shop does well enough for me to pay my rent, pay my bills, restock the shop and put some money in the bank.
But yet again, they're doing it.
But there's lots of shops out there that would say, you know what, that covers the rent on my shop.
Yeah.
So at least I've got that little bit of security, and I get where they're targeting and why they're doing it. For me personally, I would never ever sell an ICOS product in the shop.
No, it's a massive thing, because you've always discussed and said that if it's got nothing to do with vaping, well, it's not going in my shop. Same as like the CBD oil and stuff like that. But as you said, it goes back to people who are struggling. Will turn around and go, you know what? We might as well do that.
They're giving up to 70% margin to the reseller.
Fuck.
They're giving Amazon gift vouchers to the staff that sell them.
It's what can you do when somebody owns a vape shop and if they're struggling, they're all going to take it.
How much time is left on my timer? Set a timer for 10 minutes or
Who's that? Alexa?
timer for 3 minutes.
Amazon, stop. That's because I've changed my name on my Alexa to
Amazon.
because
Amazon, buy some drum and bass.
get away. Because Poppy screams Alexa at her, so I've changed the name. So that when I said that, what the fuck? But as I'm just going back over what you said, you know what I mean? It's like people in this industry, as you said, will open pop shops to think they're going to make £1 million, and when that offer comes along, it's sort of like, well, we can't refuse that, lads. It's sort of going to be.
Going to some of them shops, mate.
Would you need a tobacco license to sell the ICOS? Yes. Yes, you would, and it needs to be behind a counter, exactly the same as a tobacco product. We've looked into this. Me and Paul have discussed this on a previous show and off the show about it being behind counters, the same as cigarettes is, and you do need a tobacco license to sell it because it is still tobacco. I want to show you something else as well, Paul. Just going on to another subject. I want you to tell me what you think of this, honestly. There we go. Let me share my screen.
2 seconds.
Can you see that? Oh, you're going off? I think Paul's pulling another pint.
No, I was just putting the lights on.
Can you see this?
Vapor well, battery safety, Hi there, everyone. I'm Leo, the lithium-ion battery. If you follow the rules, I won't get mad and explode.
And this is what's inside the leaflet.
No, that's cool.
What do you think? What do you think of that? I saw this earlier and I thought I'm going to show up all this because I actually really do like that idea. And it was it wasn't even an article. It was a post I saw put up, and it was basically saying my vape shop carries these. What do you guys think? And I saw this and I thought this is where I'm sort of catch-22 into this, because I appreciate the fact it's battery safety, but yet again you get people turn around and go, this is child friendly, because it's a cartoon fucking battery talking about safety. I'm in the mindset where I think that's fucking brilliant, and I think that adds a little bit of light to education of battery safety. But then you're gonna get these people that would turn around and go, it's a fucking cartoon character on a fucking battery.
I don't get the whole. I don't get this whole. It's advertised for kids. It's not. I've always said it's advertised towards moronic vapors.
But that in itself.
My shirt look like a newsreader's tie on your screen.
No.
Looks like
fat as you always fucking do.
Looks like a newsreader's tie on my fucking little square in the. It looks like I've had some LSD.
What is it going up and down sort of because it's checked?
It's all fuzzy and funky, man. It's like, ooh, like some shrooms.
No, I just thought I'd show you that little flyer, whatever it was, like sort of informational little pack, and I thought it was cool. But I obviously know your opinion on, child safety and appealing to kids basically. And to me personally, you would get more reads and laughs out of that because of the way it is, rather than it appealing to kids. And I sort of thought, do you know what I thought? Paul's always going to turn around and go, whoever thinks that's appealing to kids is a fucking asshole. But at the same time, it's very much, to me, if I was to hand that out rather than giving out a normal sheet, someone would rather read that because it is a little bit funnier and it plays on very much, as you say, the child-minded vapors who will buy something with a Pokemon fucking logo on.
No,
but again,
any safety in a vape shop.
Say that again.
Any vape, I'm echoing bad there.
Right, hold on. What about now?
Hello. That's better. Any safety information in a vape shop can only be a good thing.
Agreed. But it's whether other people see it as that, and that's
the other people.
And I agree. And when I saw it, it just definitely it tried with me because it's different and it's not appealing to kids. And as I said, once again, if anybody wants to see these pictures and these links, I will put them in the description after the video. It's very much the fact is that is more eye appealing than just a data sheet that says this and this. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of fun to it. It tells you the facts that you need to know. When I first read it, it went, I'm Leo, the lithium battery. And you know what I mean? If I get mad, I will explode. To me, that's funny. That's really funny. And it's adding a little bit of play to something serious. Because we all know battery safety. We've talked about it nearly every fucking week. Do you know what I mean? And to give that little bit of funniness side to it would appeal more to a lot more people than just a data sheet.
100%.
I'm fucking red hot tonight. I don't think these 4 cans have helped either.
10 o'clock. See if you can drink 4 more by 10 o'clock.
Not a chance. Not a fucking chance. It's not happening. Right, I'm going to get onto this one because we don't have to show any examples. And I think whoever has known about this company or whatever, or can give us our opinion in chat. But it says, fast tech, is it a thing of the past? What do you think about that sort of market where it was used. I remember when it was very appealing, and a lot of people went on there and then spent minimal money, but then complained about waiting fucking 60 weeks for
I can't
fucking
believe it. We got faster on Monday and it's still ain't fucking here.
do you know? Because I can remember looking through Facebook and looking through stuff and people being like, I've ordered from Fastech, here's my order, this is what I've ordered, and screenshotted this fucking 16-page list of shit that they've bought Fastech.
$19, including postage. Look, more. No, but then, mate, I mean, I don't think I've ever. I might have back in the day when we first opened the shop. I think I ordered some 510 drip tips from Fastech. And literally, I ordered them and forgot about it. And about 6 years later, I just got a parcel and I was like, fuck me, remember them when I ordered them drip tips? There weren't even such thing as a 510 drip tip then. Every cup was on an 810. And I was like, what the fuck? But I used to see people order off there and then go, fucking, oh, you'd have on them fucking statuses where you have to put, are you okay, honey? Inbox me. They're like, grrr, I'm so mad. I've just had my fucking, my $2 mechanical mod off Fastech and it's not, the switch is fucked. And I was like, what the fuck was you expecting for $2, including postage, you mad cunt? I don't get it.
You never see them post anymore, though, do you? Like, I've not seen a Fastech post in ages. Even I know it's still a part of obviously the community, and like you've got is it Alibaba and stuff like that. You've got
Best and all them sort of places now. But to be fair, them, you know what? I think Fastech sorted their shit out, and obviously Fastech, Gearbest, and all them big American companies, they've got some good hookups now with authentic. But the postage is reliable and the return system's not particularly good.
Do you think
personally, whether I've owned the vape shop or I don't, I'm not the sort of person to buy from Gearbest and places like just on price, because I'd rather go and buy what I've got to buy. When it's fucked, I can take it back to where I've got to take it back to. I've got it the next day, or I can go and pick it up the same day. That's because that's just the type of guy that I am. I get that there's other people that will buy it and they'll sit and wait. I mean, it comes in 6 weeks' time. If it works, it's a bonus. If it don't, try again. Everyone's different at the end of the day, mate.
Do you think that the industry's changed? Not the industry. Do you think the consumers changed in the factors that you can actually now go to a local vape shop and pick up exactly the same gear for around about the same price?
I just think that the margins in the UK have come down massively, and on that basis, we're not that much more. I mean, we're uncompetitive compared to the likes of fucking Fastech. However, to get that product in your hand from a shop where you can take it back, or you can sit down and have someone explain how it works and what it's doing and all them sort of things, for me, it's worth the extra 20 quid on a Smock Alien or something like that. It's got to be. But then there are people that £20 is a lot of money to them, so I get why some people buy from the likes of Fastech.
Yeah, I just when I said it to myself, I was like, I've not seen a post in ages. I've not seen many people, because they've actually, I think Fastech came to a point where they were actually selling authentic gear. I don't know whether it was authentic or not, but they was putting it on the site.
Yeah, they did used to sell authentic because they'd always say styled or authentic, and it was that. And I've never known them state something be authentic and it's not.
I just personally think that the times have changed. Never used Fastech myself or Gearbest myself from Neil. Takes about 4 weeks to come, same as 3F Vapes. They're on slow boat from China. I'd sooner buy from a UK shop, knowing what I get when I get it then. Yep, agreed. Fastech is still used if you don't mind waiting. Nobody worries anymore. Help me. Hook up on Facebook. People in the chat are basically saying it's still around, it's still being used, but a lot of people sort of aim towards more of a brick and mortar. I think in my whole vaping time, I think I've used Fastech maybe once. To me personally, I think the 20 quid you may pay extra on top of a device comes with the customer service, learning about the device from the shop that you get it from, the whole sort of experience of learning about the device and trying the device as well. I think, to me personally, that adds a lot more to it.
I agree.
Let's see what else we've got. Right, this is the big one for tonight, and I think this needs to be sort of very much gone over quite. I know there's a lot of people in chat that's experienced. They know a lot about vaping. You know, they've very much used a lot of devices and learned a lot. But I want to talk about the weather, and this may sound really, really stupid and really, really petty, but it's very much easy to mistake the weather and vaping gear. I've seen some posts on Facebook recently on a couple of groups about bottles melting in this heat. And these people must obviously have these bottles in the fucking window. We've not seen any incidents, obviously, with mods kept in cars and stuff like that. But I just want to sort of go over how important it is to take care with these devices and juice, and obviously reduce of nicotine through the factors. It's warm weather, it will reduce the nicotine strength. How you need to be very fucking safe in this heat. Paul, I don't know about you, but it's not very often I leave a device in the car, and if I do, it's maybe hidden underneath.
Mate, you know what? I swear to God, right? It's something I'd never thought about. Look, back in the day when I used to smoke, you'd have the little sticker on the lighter and it'd say, "Do not exceed 50 degrees C" or whatever.
Yeah.
I always used to think, who the fuck is sat in 50-degree heat for starters? Obviously. But then when we launched the clean mod and we had the black colour change one, one day we went to Toy Cross Zoo and my mod was in my centre console. And when we come back to the car, my mod was white.
Fucking hell.
You know, the colour change mod. And I was like, no way, as if it's got that warm that the whole mod's changed from black to white. And then from that day to I never ever leave nothing on show. So if I've got spare battery in my car, I'll put them inside the glove box so they're not in direct sunlight. But the other issue is also the guys that are vaping, it's so important that you keep hydrated as well in this weather. Vaping all day will dehydrate you. Just stand alone, apart from any dehydration you're suffering from sweating and the heat, etc. Just by vaping. So you need to make sure. I'll tell you what I thought. I was going to see if I could find the chart now because I went for a piss up in the office today.
I just honestly thought about this subject because I don't think I've seen any posts about being safe while this weather. And I know it sounds really, really, whether people are watching now or watching after, it sounds really minimal, but it is very fucking dangerous to do, especially leaving stuff in this car, in your cars, your mods, your batteries, juice, anything in this sunlight. Matter of fact, that it can reduce nicotine through, you know, your bottles of juice being in windows. You know, I think I've seen 4 or 5 bottles of people saying nibs melted through the heat sat in the window. Well, first of all, what the fuck are you doing leaving your juice in the window and allowing it says, it must say, I'm sure it says somewhere in the bottle, don't let it exceed, or you should know nicotine shouldn't be in, you know, sunny, hot places. It should be in, you know, hid away. It should be hid away anyway. Let's be realistic. If you've got children in the house, the bottle should be out of reach, should be in a dark place in your cupboard away from kids. You know, the safety aspect of this shit is fucking, you know, is key.
Well, in our office at work, we have something similar to this in the toilet.
Oh yeah.
And every time I go for a piss, I'm round here. In fact, there should probably be a darker one for my piss. That would look something akin to an espresso coffee. And I went for a piss today, and I swear they've got one above every urinal. And what he basically says in the paragraph, when you're reading that, you're obviously pissing on your shoes because. But he basically says how important it is for something like 96% of office staff are dehydrated on a daily basis, and the importance of the hydrated body to just function normal day-to-day activities, to stop headaches, to stop fucking fatigue and all these things that dehydration causes. And actually, I was just thinking today, I wonder how many vapors are dehydrated just because normally their liquid intake is probably shit anyway. Coupled with this hot weather where we're all sweating like fucking Jimmy Savile at a school disco, coupled with vaping as well. So, look, for anyone that is watching, there's several issues you're going to encounter. Tom quite rightly covered the bit about keeping your mods on windowsills and in your car and all them sort of things, because the batteries will vent when they get hot. They just will.
Yeah.
Don't be going into vape shops saying, I've been using this tank for 6 months and all of a sudden it started leaking, because you will have to wick your tank differently as well, because obviously the tank will get that hot, just ambient, that the liquid becomes like piss, and it will be nigh on impossible to stop a leaky tank unless you change your wicking style. And then the other thing is just for you guys to make sure that you are drinking plenty of water and keeping hydrated and stuff like that. And
Definitely. I think it's a main key of just, even if it's just a general post in a group or something like that, just a little bit. It's not like telling people to suck eggs. It's just sort of a reminder to sort of keep your shit sorted, because let's be realistic, we don't want mods going up because batteries will vent in heat. You know, we don't want you losing the factors that you're going, oh, I've got a fucking 6 milligram, it's now fucking 1.5 because you sat it in fucking front window for 3 days in 30-degree heat. You know, it's very much be aware of your surroundings and where you're keeping these sort of devices. Paul has mentioned on many occasions, to be a vapor, you have to be prepared. Well, fucking prepare yourself for this heat, because this heat isn't due to stop anytime soon. So you need to be safe, 100% safe.
no, absolutely.
Let's have a look. Somebody's asking, does anybody know the rules about taking vape stuff abroad? That's a really, really good question. Make sure that your tanks are empty when you get on the plane, because they will piss out, as Paul said. They will thin and they will piss out of your tank.
When you go in a plane, the pressure in the cabin will cause the juice to be forced out.
And I think is it 100 ml juice?
Mate, I think it's 100 ml of liquid full stop. So whether that's shampoo, whether that's fucking wanking lube, whether that's fucking whatever. Now, if you're struggling to fit your wanking lube and your fucking stuff in your case, just take some 100% VG with you. And knock a cheeky one out with it as well. Don't use 72 milligram VG nicotine, because it might sting if you've got any cuts around your fucking pipe.
Neil said, Phil, different airlines have different rules. Check with your airline you're flying with. Normally 100 ml of juice max in a bottle in a plastic bag. I will mention as well, I don't know if you've seen them, Paul. Have you seen the eFest 6-bay battery holders?
Yeah.
Well, I took one of them to America and I got red flagged in the States because they thought there were shotgun shells. So I want people to remember, if you're going to carry batteries, please make them aware that you are carrying batteries, that you're a vapor, that the gear you've got, if you've got it in your hand luggage, show them the vape gear and say, I am a vapor, I've got this. Do not get fucking sniffed out by the dogs to see if you've got shotgun in your bag.
No, don't get sniffed out by the dogs looking for shotgun shells, especially if you're carrying fucking a cheeky gram of cocaine up the back of your ass.
I'm not joking. Honestly, because I had it in my hand luggage and I had the chart. It wasn't a charge. It was like just a case with the batteries in it. I had 6 batteries in it, and I put it in the box, and he was like, "The fuck are they?" And obviously, he went to go fucking press the red button. He told me after I told him there were batteries. I was like, just to let you know, I'm carrying e-cigarettes. That's an e-cigarette battery. It's an 18650 battery, and explained what the product was. And he was literally like fucking away from pressing this red button when I'd have had a finger up my ass for shotgun fucking shots. I was like, are you taking the piss? He was like, no, seriously, I was going to press the red button because we thought it was arms. I was like, okay, I'm just letting you know it's batteries. And they went through my case, checked everything. So let them know you're carrying it. And if you carry a quad stack fucking dirty, make sure you tell them it's an e-cigarette product, not a fucking baton, because they will stop you in customs. And especially if you go into the States, they're very much very on top of it, of what e-cigarettes are and, you know, vaping is. So just make them aware that if you've got batteries and stuff like that, and if you are carrying them, in a case that you've got batteries, because they will flag them. Hope there's a bloody vape shop in Tenerife. 100ml won't last me a fortnight. Phil, if you're wanting smaller bottles, mate, to put in one in your missus, one in kids' bags, you know, AF is there for 20ml bottles. So if you wanted smaller bottles, mate, you can sneak them in kids' bags. Brass. My brass stacked dirty was stopped by customs. There you go, Paul. The first endless mod to be stopped by customs.
Whatever, the fucking customs stopped them coming into the fucking country from China. Like, weeks and motherfuckers.
Yeah, always carry my batteries in the case. That's obviously a main key as well to do that. Once again, being safe. Pixie, you're horrible for saying that. It's 100ml, but you can carry a few bottles. I'm not sure on the rules, obviously, carrying several bottles. I know for a fact you need to keep the labels on the bottles, so do not transfer into other bottles because they need to see the warning labels and stuff like that. So make sure you keep them in the same bottles. Bear with me 2 minutes. I'm just going to put the light on. I just think on this subject, Paul, it's very minimal, but it's massive at the same time. That people need to stay safe and very much do so.
No, I agree 100%, mate. I say it's. I always used to keep some like cheeky mod on the bedroom window and stuff like that. Just like if I'm playing with it and fucking about and putting a new build on a new mod or whatever, I'd always put it on the windowsill. And actually, about 2 weeks ago, I completely cleared everything off the windowsill for the same reason. When I went to move someone, I was like, fucking hell, it's a bit fucking pipey, that is. So yeah, definitely it's one to think of. But say also just remember when you're wicking an RTA, you need to just wick it slightly differently because of the thin liquid.
I'm just having a look at a letter that Jack sent me. It looks like it's a letter from Royal Mail. I'm just having a read through this letter, saying that somebody's product has been destroyed, an e-cigarette product being destroyed. I know I've heard it before, obviously, somewhere in the States that they used to destroy e-cigarette products because you couldn't ship them through. Have you ever had any product issue with batteries being shipped, Paul?
No.
Is there a way that they've got to ship them from China or anything like that? They got to agree that
whenever we order batteries from China, they have to come air freight. They can't come. They have to come air freight, and I can only get them in from UPS as well.
Right.
DHL won't carry batteries unless they're in the device. So they'll carry lipos and stuff like that, but they won't carry just 18650s.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my head around this letter that Jack sent me, just basically saying that somebody's had one of their products destroyed due to it being a lithium-ion battery. I'm not fully understanding the letter. Jack, if you're in chat, if you could.
Actually, what that letter says is it was destroyed because the 18650s were independent of the vaping device.
Right. And what is that an issue for sending out batteries and stuff like that?
If you tell them that there's batteries in there, yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm just trying to get my head around this letter. Just doesn't very much come over stuff.
That's the feeling of being on stage and hearing loads of people singing the lyrics back to you
We're gonna go for the Cheerio now.
Oh, I did have something to mention, Paul.
Yeah.
Obviously, I received some of the Boss Cotton the other day when I was on holiday, and I've only just got back to have a go at it. So thank you to yourself and Tash for sending me it. I've only just got back to my parcel. I actually found it fucking super easy to use them shoelaces.
Yeah.
And you can use them on 2 different coils. I just wanted to let everybody know because I don't know if anybody was skeptical about them or anything like that, but I did use them last night. I used some 3-core alien last night to build a coil from the building wire, and I used the Bossum cotton, Boss Device cotton, and it is fucking so simple. It is really cool, and there's no flavor off the cotton, and I didn't have to sit there and fucking purge it for hours. So I actually really enjoyed doing that last night, and it was literally a quick build, quick cotton, straight through, bang onto the vape, and it was absolutely wicked. So I want to say thank you for that because it's really
cotton, genuinely, and it's good cotton. There's no breaking on the cotton. It lasts a long time. It's really absorbent, and it's easy to use as well. So
really good. I haven't used the strips, but obviously I used the shoelaces because I know I've never tried the shoelaces before. But when I tried them, it was like, and I think I used a 3.5mm bit to wrap the coil around, and I put the cotton through, and it was proper banging. So if nobody's tried the Boss Device cotton yet, it is fucking brilliant. And just for pure ease of putting it through the coil and so quick, and I was very much. I looked at the cotton and I was like, I don't think this is going to work on 2 coils here. And then I cut it proper, like to where it needed to be, how it was cut, and it was fucking banging. It was 1 strip off that to build 2 coils was wicked. So anybody that's wanting the cotton to try it, it's got my sign of approval. And that's not because we sell it.
To Boss Device cotton in the comments.
Yeah. What I'll do is, so guys, as I say, every article we've seen tonight, all the new AF obviously now in 60mm to 90mm bottles, the cotton, everything sort of what we've discussed tonight, I will once again put in the description. It's absolutely fucking roasting tonight, and I think it's took it out on us tonight.
Who watched the football last night?
I did watch the football. What did you? Let's end the show on football talk because let's get into some fucking real shit. How do the Colombians not know how to rack up a fucking line? That's all.
Dirtier than the fucking RTA after 6 weeks of vaping custard without a cotton change. Proper horrible cunts, man.
I think the football, me personally, has been a great thing because I've put this on Facebook about the flags and stuff like that. You know, don't be fucking putting the flags up if you're not patriotic all the way around. Just sort of fucking having a little play and having a wind up and that, just a bit of banter. But I honestly think whenever I go on Facebook and the England game's being on and every fucking comment is an England fucking comment, it's good to see because people who are not necessarily football fans, you know, I don't necessarily follow football throughout the football season. I do have a football team, but I don't follow it religiously. And I think it's been really good to see sort of everybody getting involved and having a bit of fun with it. But yeah, it was fucking dirty.
I don't follow football under normal circumstances, but actually I like international football. And I've watched as many games as I can as well. I'm not just watching the England matches, actually.
Yeah.
And I like the tennis as well. Obviously, Wimbledon started yesterday, I think, and I actually really like Wimbledon as well. So, but now last night the football was good, man. And I genuinely think we've got a chance of winning this tournament, man.
You know what? I feel the same. I do feel the same. I do honestly, genuinely feel the same. I feel like there's been so many upsets in this fucking tournament with Germany, Portugal, Argentina, a lot of clubs. A lot of countries that have gone out that should have really won it. Like I was like Portugal. Have you seen the Simpsons conspiracy?
Over what?
The Simpsons conspiracy.
No.
Simpsons basically every now and again like predict shit. They like predict like Trump, like 4 or 5 years ago, they predict Trump would be the president of the US and stuff like that. And they put up Portugal, Mexico final. And I was like, 20 quid. 20 quid. I was like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I was like, 20 quid. And then I thought, you know what? Mexico, they're not going to do it. I thought Portugal might do it. But Mexico, and then when Portugal got booted out, I thought it's such an upset, like the Germans and stuff. You know, Germany going out, you never expected that. You know, Portugal going out, they've got Ronaldo, one of the best players, if not the best player in the world.
Ronaldo could duck this, man. He's horrible.
I saw your post. Throughout the week. Ronaldo can fuck off. Somebody tagged you in a picture of him fucking helping off fucking thing your field, didn't he? I saw it and I was like, Paul's gonna be raging.
Mr. Wenker Jr.
I saw that. He loves Ronaldo. The thing is, for me, is it has been these England games, especially the England games, because obviously we pay a little bit more attention because it's England. But we've been fucking dirtied out of loads of shit throughout this tournament. But who fucking likes England? Let's be realistic. Out of all the countries, us and the US are the fucking most hated countries in the world. That's why we don't ever win Eurovision.
Mate, did you see some of the fucking people we put forward for Eurovision, for fuck's sake? You know what? I think it's been a really, really good tournament, Odo. I'm looking forward to Saturday. I've told the staff in the shop that if we get through to the final, I will shut the shops at 2 o'clock so they can watch the football. That's how fucking patriotic I'm being told. I'm potentially losing big money on a Sunday as well.
Do you honestly, hand on heart, think we'll win it?
I honestly, hand on heart, think we've got the ability to win it.
And what do you think of VAR?
I think it's really, really good if it's used properly. That cunt last night needed someone to run out on the pitch and smash him over the head with a 65-inch screen. I honestly don't get how that cunt never got sent off for headbutting, man.
You see, this is the thing, and I've said this before because obviously you know
with VAR that I don't like it on the basis if you haven't seen it, it hasn't happened.
Yeah,
and it does affect the flow of the game. However, it's there, so use it as it should be fucking used and use it properly. And in fact, to give the decision to give a yellow card without checking VAR, ridiculous.
But it was told in the ear, wasn't he, that he needed to give a yellow card. That's the thing. But what my argument is, and I've said this throughout the whole World Cup, the referee does not need that decision. In rugby league or rugby union, what they do is they go to the screen, they just go to the video ref, and the video ref gives the final decision. The referee doesn't give the final decision. If they'd have done that in the World Cup, where the fact is that you go to the VAR and the guys, because what is there? There's fucking 10 people in that fucking screening, isn't there? Yeah. There's loads of people. They make that final decision, and that is final. The referee doesn't make that decision. As you've said, the referee didn't see it, so it didn't happen. So the VAR guys go, do you know what? This has happened. You need to get a penalty. This has happened. You need a red card. That's their final decision. They need to follow in the footsteps of rugby the way that they've done with bringing in the VAR. Because
Colombian players were following the fucking footsteps of rugby players last night. These mucky cunts.
But we've had it in every game, though. We've had the first game, Harry Kane got that penalty. We fucking threw rugby tackled in the fucking penalty area. The second game, we had a penalty for rugby tackling in the area. And the third game, we've had rugby tackles in the area. You know, let's be realistic. Yes, it should have been a red card, but it shouldn't be the referee making the final decision because he's not fucking seen it. It should be the man in his ear going, do you know what? I appreciate he hit his chest, but he knew exactly what the fuck he were doing when he headbutted him.
Yeah.
Went straight up to the chin. But I've actually really enjoyed the tournament because there has been ups and downs, and it's always good. I'm sorry, but it's always good to see the Germans.
Mate, nothing's made me happier than Ronaldo walking off sulky. And fucking Argentina, man. I've still got a bee in my bonnet about Maradona doing a fucking handball goal, the motherfucker.
And the God. Did you see all the memes after him, though, when he was going fucking apeshit and that were like lining up and that? It was fucking brilliant.
He's just a fucking fat sniffhead, isn't he?
He is proper. but he's known as one of the, you know what I mean? That situation will have him in the books for years and years and years and years to come. That they know for a fact he's gone people out of them.
He was probably one of the best players ever to grace a football pitch.
But I think we've got a young side. We have really got a young side, and I think we can do this. And there is a lot.
Only if we've got a young side they're desperate to prove themselves as well. But actually, Gareth Southgate has got an absolute wicked bond with that whole team as well. He's on like another level to all the other managers that have ever been there before, and he's fucked off all these glory hunting motherfuckers. He's got people who go on there and they graft and they work hard and they want to fucking win. And that counts for a huge amount in a tournament like this.
I think it's down to the fact that he's also been in the game himself. Do you know what I mean? He's very much. He was a footballer. He's gone through that experience of missing in the penalty in fucking whenever it was, 96 or 2000 or whenever he missed the penalty. You know, he's been through that experience and learned through that. And I think he'll bring the best out of the team. But there is for me personally, I sit here and I go, it's young lads, but then I think they're on fucking millions and millions of pounds to go out.
To be fair, last night, I think the first half they played exceptionally well because they were under so much pressure. It was a really groggy fucking start to the match. They were getting bashed left, right, and fucking centre. And actually, if you look how well Colombia played in the fucking in the back end of the second half and the extra time, I don't understand why they didn't just play like that from the start, because they'd have half give us a run for our fucking money, because actually they seem quite tight.
Yeah.
The only thing,
although commentators were saying that, you know, we've got a better squad. Yes, we have got a better squad, but I think, as you said, if they sort of would have kicked off sort of playing they did in the lower, it was the third sort of half of it, things, the sort of last 20 minutes, they sort of kicked up gear, didn't they? But they knew that England obviously are a better squad, but it should have been a lot better than it was, and it was pretty dirty at times. And it's not very much for me personally. That's not an advertisement for football, especially for young kids. You know, this sport shows that people are on millions and millions of pounds a year. Fucking look at Neymar, for example, when he fucking got stomped, when the lad stood on his ankle and he rolled around fucking 9 times across the field.
In the video?
No.
Let me see if I can find it, man. Quickly before I get off.
Works out they get 400k a week, in my opinion. People in the army that get shot that deserved higher money. I've had this debate.
Oh, fucking I hate that argument. If you want to be a soldier and earn fucking 35 grand and risk getting shot, that's the choice you've made. If you want to be a footballer and you earn 200 grand a year, you earn 200 fucking grand a year. That's life, man. It's just the way that it is. These people that say footballers shouldn't even get that much money, they should, because the business is worth that much money to pay them.
Exactly. And it's not down to the footballer. My argument is it's not down to the footballer that takes 79 million a year home. It's the person who's willing to pay him 79 million a year that you should be moaning at, not the fucking footballer. Because I'm sure if you was asked to kick a football around the field for fucking 90 minutes once a week, you'd take 79 million pounds. It's that simple. And I've had this argument. I'll say to everybody in the chat tonight, if you're willing to take an extra £100 out of your wage a month and give it to the fucking doctor down your fucking local GP surgery, by all means, go for it. Because it's coming out of your fucking pocket. But I know 99.9% of people will turn around and say, fuck you, you're not taking my money. Because it's private investors that pay footballers, not the general public.
Can you see that?
Yes, I'm going to share you. Yeah.
In fact, let me put it on again with some sound.
What the fuck? That is fucking. It's true though. That is fucking funny, man. When he got, because he didn't even get. The thing is, he didn't even get stomped on. He literally.
You know what they should be using VAR for, mate? Every time one of them prats is rolling around, look, someone shot him in the bollocks. 1 second, let me just turn my sound off. Then they should go to VAR, and if they've not had any contact, red card the cunts, man, fuck them off, and let them know that they will use VAR to fucking weed out the wankers.
But they won't do that. This is the big debate that they won't. Last night when Harry Kane got that penalty, and it was 4 minutes for him to take that penalty kick.
Mate, why 2 of them never got sent off for fucking threatening the ref? Either that, or the refs in the fucking their dressing room at half time racking up lines with them.
But as I say, going back to rugby and stuff like that, when you get into a referee's face in rugby, you get a team warning. So they should do that in football. So you get a team warning if anybody does anything else, they get a booking or they get sent off. And sort of you even swear, like you even say fuck or you say shit or whatever to the referee in rugby, you're getting 10 minutes.
Oh,
There's no respect.
I'd be fucking sat in that fucking Cindy for the whole of the fucking match.
You know what I mean?
What you want about, you mad cunt? I just carry some red cards in my own pocket. I'm going to stay for 10 minutes, you prick.
It's the biggest thing, and the biggest bugbear of mine is the respect. There is no respect on that field. The man in the middle should have control of that game, should have the most respect from all them players. And I always go back to the fact is there's so much money on that field and so much ego that it will never happen. Do footballs get fined for spitting on the pitch? Because I heard they do.
I think,
I don't think so.
I heard yesterday they get fined every time they spit and they're on camera.
No way.
But actually, they earn that much. I mean, none of them players get played for international football as well. They're not getting played for international matches. They're doing it for their country. But mate, if I was running around in 37-degree heat, sweating like a rapist, and I felt the need to spit every now and again, I'd pay the fucking fine.
Isn't it? So it's not like they're on pennies, you know what I mean? They're all high-paid footballers. You've got to remember that this is the highest pedigree of football. And when you go into a World Cup, you are probably one of the most highest-paid footballers on the pitch.
Yeah.
So for spitting is pocket change. You know, they've got so much dough, it's fuck all. But I'm telling you now, the money I've got in the bank, I can only afford a penny a spit. So I'll be fucked if I'm playing on football field. Right, well, it's 10:10. It's fucking boiling. I'm due a shower or a bath. I think I've sweated out fucking 5 stone. You've lost it last 13 tonight. So, guys, as I said, I'm going to link up all the stuff in the description. Everything from the new bigger bottles of AF, the Boss Cotton, and all the stuff we've discussed tonight. I've really enjoyed having a really nice conversation with Paul earlier on today. Doing an hour on fucking cars was mint. I'm not even going to lie. We will be back next week.
Extended the spring sale as well, so it's still running. So
the spring sale is still running.
We've added lots and lots and lots of product to there. There's liquids, there's hardware, there's RDAs, RTAs, there's all sorts of stuff in there. So I think we've dropped the cleans to 25 quid.
Right, I'll drop that link also for the spring sale tab on Shady. I'll drop that in the description as well. So as Paul's saying, he's extended the sale, so make sure you get over there, get some great fucking offers, because I know you were putting some juice up it yesterday or the day before, and they're fucking basically at a steal.
I mean, we've done them cheap. It's a lot of it is. I've still got more to go on there. I started off with TYV because we probably carry the biggest range of liquid for them. And actually, it's all the 50ml short fills because all the new stuff's 100ml short fills. So I've got the new donuts and whatever the other new line was.
Home slice, isn't it?
Home slice. I got that due in tomorrow. They're 100ml. So we're just clearing out the 50ml, and then obviously we'll restock with all the 100ml once the 50s have gone. So yeah, I've got some Mesa Vape 50 mils to go on there that are the older stock, which I'll get done probably tomorrow and Friday, ready for the weekend. And we're just going to run this probably through the whole of the summer now. I think that I've set the prices to expire on the 3rd of September. So we've got potentially 8 weeks with this sale where we will just keep adding stock to it as we go through. I mean, we're literally sort of doing a full stock take of the shop and just clearing out what we need to clear out. And then I've got new stuff coming in thereafter. So
wicked. And also remember, guys, to hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Make sure you like the video and make sure to share it with people that's out there. If anybody you feel could get some information from us, could come in for a laugh, make sure you let them know that we do Endless Banter every Wednesday at 8 o'clock and just get them to join in on the fun. Thank you for the new people that have shown their faces in chat tonight. Thank you ever so much for everybody that's here every week. I know that I have a race with Nikki and Pixie to see who can be the first in the chat every week. So thank you ever so much, guys.
I'm going to win that race. I got my Mac out today at 7:45 and I couldn't find my fucking charger and it was flat as fuck and I was like, bastard. I was probably on time and everything today.
I think if we were ever on time, I think that they think someone were up. So I think we just stick with being late for 5 minutes. Yeah, and just hashtag fuck Land Rover and hashtag Biscoffee in the chat. We'll see you all next week, guys. You take it easy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Cheers.